Yo, what's good guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com. Today we got a quick first look at an upcoming sneaker from Nike Basketball. I'm super excited to check these out. One of my most anticipated sneakers of the year just because of the cushion setup. We got them right here. This is the new box for the KD 11. Man, what the hell? All jokes aside, this is the upcoming Nike KD 11. But before we get into these, we got some new pickups from Cousins brand. And if you guys are interested in any of their new apparel, I will leave a link down below in the description box. This is their Brazil inspired jersey tee. This thing's pretty slick, great quality, lightweight, comfortable stuff. And then my favorite thing is these guys right here, man. I love basketball shorts, especially casually, and they've got their own right here. It's a double layered mesh. They do have pockets, drawstrings are on the outside. Cousins branding at the base, then you also have it embroidered on the other side of the leg as well. Both of these items fit true to size, perfect for the summer. So if you're interested, like I said, down below in the description box, they've got you covered. So these guys right here, released globally. Apparently globally doesn't mean within the US. At least not anymore. Globally means everywhere but the US. But you'll be able to grab these starting July 18th in the US at retailers such as eastbay.com and so on and so forth. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take a closer look. The traction and the midsole both comprised of translucent solid rubber. It's definitely an interesting look, especially the midsole wrap, only because we all know how this type of rubber ages. It basically gets super yellow, so I don't know how these are gonna look in a few years, but they're probably not gonna look this good. The traction is fairly multi-directional. You can definitely see some spirals in there, so linear and lateral coverage should be solid. It's hard to see, but there are some flex screws in there as well. And then at the midfoot, they not only show you the Zoom Air, but they also state what the actual cushioning is, which I think is a great touch. It states full-length Zoom Air plus a Nike React Foam midsole. Now, the most asked question, at least in my opinion, it was mine too before I got a pair, is how does this midsole feel? Like, how does React and Zoom feel together? Because the React cushion that they used in the Superfly 2017 and the Hyperdunk 2017 was very firm, and that was housed within a carrier. And then you had the running models like the Epic React and the other one that I can't remember the name of, but I do have a pair. And those guys were super bouncy with no carrier whatsoever, just full on like React midsole, everything. This guy is more like the Hyperdunk where it's wrapped up in a carrier. Not only is it wrapped up in a carrier, but this is, I mean, that's some solid rubber, dude. There's like no give to this stuff. So when you first put them on, they're very underwhelming. However, the Zoom Air that's inside of there really saves the feel of the shoe. So once you kind of break in that strobel board, you can feel the bounce from the cushion, mostly from the Zoom. And then what I believe the React is there for is for straight up impact protection, because it's not able to really like expand and all that stuff and then move back into its original shape, being that it is within this solid rubber midsole. So those are my thoughts. I think that they feel good, especially once you start moving in them. It's definitely one of those shoes that when you try them on in store, they're gonna feel fairly underwhelming, but just to let you know, it will feel good once you start moving in them. Now the upper is Flyknit, once again, much like the KD9 and the KD10. However, it's built very similarly to the KD10, where the toe box area is a firm Flyknit. It feels like there's a lot of glue in there, maybe some nylon backing it, but from about here back, that's all 100% Flyknit. It's fairly stretchy, especially right here at the tongue and collar, so it makes ease of entry slightly easier. It's not quite as easy to get into as the KD10s, not quite as hard as the KD9s, somewhere kind of in the middle. Luckily, they gave you the little pull tab right there so you could really open that throat up, and the material overall feels good. There's a lot of padding actually inside the shoe. I do worry about its overall containment though, especially long term. The only thing that you've got covering you are fly wire strands for the lacing structure, and with a flimsier upper like this, I just kind of wonder if that's going to work out well. You got a really nice nubuck on the rear of the shoe. I actually really like the way that this feels. It gives it a slight premium touch. I know a lot of people are complaining about this little button right there. I think it looks cool, so I don't really care. I just think it's funny that when you put out a basketball shoe that performs well and it's super ugly because they clearly didn't care about the aesthetics, people complain being like, yo, they gotta look good too. And then when they make them look good, they're like, yo, I don't care what that is. It just needs to be functional. I'm just like, guys, you gotta let the designers design, man. Like, let them do their thing. The little button, it's this big. It's not gonna bother anybody. Just ignore it if you don't like it. Like I said, I think think it looks cool. Something that I do think is interesting is that the KD logo is muted on the shoe. They made it the same exact color as the nubuck. The swoosh is not the same color, but it's still pretty dark. So very minimal branding on the sneaker. I think it looks great. Now, as far as fit, the last few KDs have been tricky. The KD9, you could have gone true to size. You also could have gone down half a size. The KD10, I definitely had to go down half a size. I was swimming in my true to size. These guys right here, I went true to size just because that's usually your safest bet. I'm still not 100% certain on whether or not I like that fit just yet. So again, once I'm done testing them, I'll let you guys know for sure. But as it stands right now, I went true to size. We have about a month before they actually hit the US, and that should be plenty of time for me to test these things out, see if the material stretches too much and things like that. Now, besides the fact that they combined React and full length zoom together, my favorite aspect of the KD11 is the fact that there is no price increase. These guys are going to be $150, just like the past two models, which I think is fantastic. And that's pretty much all I got to say about the KD11 so far. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all your support. Stay tuned for the performance review. And with that being said, there's only one thing left for me to do in these guys.